Hey guys, what's going on? Today is Friday, April the 5th. 5 more school days after today until we get to spring break. I know that you guys are grinding. Keep talking to your teachers. Stay on top of your assignments because before you know it, it just seems when we get back from spring break, man, everything kind of kicks into an extra gear. Today, Coffee with Coach, I want to talk to you about being safe. We had an unbelievable incident in our state of South Carolina this week where a University of South Carolina student, Samantha Josephson, she lost her life. She lost her life on a Thursday night where she went out with some friends down in 5 Points, down in Columbia, and unfortunately she made a fatal mistake. And that mistake is that she had called for a ride share. She had called for an Uber. And while she was waiting on the Uber, she got kind of distracted. And a gentleman pulled into the parking space. And she assumed that it was her Uber driver. Got into the back seat of the car, only to find out that the man driving the car was a predator. And this was something that he had planned to do because the child safety locks had been activated. And unfortunately for Samantha, there was no way out. And so I want to talk to you. Everybody is focusing on the mistake that she made getting into the wrong Uber car. But I wish we would focus more on the fact that there are evil people in this world. And that there are people who spend more time thinking about doing bad things than you and I probably do thinking about doing good things. Please be careful. If you decide to go out, number one, you got to plan your night in advance. You can't just go off the cuff and go and do it, and all of a sudden you put yourself in a dangerous situation. Get with a group of your friends. Plan your night in advance. Have a worst case scenario situation so that you have a plan just in case you're ever put in a situation where unexpectedly you're by yourself. But meet with your friends and plan in advance. Number 2, there's always strength in numbers. One of my favorite movies as my kids were growing up was Lilo and Stitch. And in that movie, it talks about Ohana. And Ohana means family. And family means that no one gets left behind. There are strength in numbers. You go out with a group of friends, and number one, you never separate yourselves from the group. And the group never separates themselves from one of the individuals. You have to take care of each other. When you ride in an Uber, you ride with someone else. When you go out late at night, you go with someone else. Around Christmas time, they talk about how dangerous it is in the parking lots at the mall, and they encourage you to go with someone else. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're all alone and there's no help. There's strength in numbers. And the third thing, you have to be careful. And you have to maintain control of your drink. So many times you read in the newspaper where a young lady has had a drink and someone has dropped something in that drink when she turns around and unknowingly she drinks that drink and suddenly the night makes a horrific turn for the worst. Control your drink, and if you choose to drink alcohol, please do so in moderation. There is nothing more dangerous than young adults who binge drink and can't control themselves, and suddenly they've lost all ability to protect themselves and even function. Plan your night, Ohana, control your drink, and be careful. If you do call on an Uber, I hope that you realize I drove for Uber for a long time. A lot of teachers do that to try to make more money. When you call for an Uber, Uber will send you 2 things. Number 1, a picture of the driver, and number 2, the license tag number of the car with the description, the make and model. Make sure the person on your phone is the same person driving that vehicle. And the second thing is, when you open that door to that Uber driver, you don't tell them your name. You ask the driver, who are you here to pick up? And he should be able to identify you by first and last name. Please be careful, guys. Your parents love you. Your teachers love you. And we want what's best for you. Make good decisions. Make good choices. But most importantly, be careful. Love you. Have an awesome weekend. See you Monday. 5 more days to spring break.